With the addition of Renata Glass into the game, I'm like 99% sure that you can hit 10.0 attack speed without actually abusing Prototype Omnistone. And so in today's video, we're going to be looking at how we can actually hit 10.0 attack speed. And the first piece of the puzzle is which champion's going to be hitting 10.0. But before we select our champion, we do need to understand a little bit more about how attack speed works. Like, I've been playing the game for 6 years myself, but all I really know about attack speed is that if you buy fast item, you hit fast. That's it. So the way attack speed works in this game is that every champion has a base attack speed, an attack speed growth, an attack speed ratio, and all this other schmazz that we don't need to give a shit about. So the base attack speed is just how fast you're going to attack if you have no attack speed buffers. And so in our quest to achieve 10.0 attack speed in League of Legends, you think that we would probably use a champion with the highest base attack speed, because, you know, high base attack speed, high multiplier effect, yada yada. Well, that's not how League of Legends works, because for some reason, your base attack speed and how much your attack speed actually grows by when you buy attack speed is not the same value. The number that actually influences your attack speed growth is your attack speed ratio. If I have 1.0 attack speed ratio and I buy 100% attack speed, I will now be doing 1 more attack per second. But if I have 0.5 attack speed ratio and I buy 100% attack speed, I'm doing half attack per second. And so now you can see that this number is pretty fucking important. And as you get more and more attack speed, the discrepancy between values becomes more and more apparent. You'd think that we'd pick the champion with the highest attack speed ratio, but you would actually be wrong. The reason for this is because the difference between the people at the very top of the leaderboard is not really high. If we were to take a champion with 0.7 attack speed ratio and bring it to 10.0 attack speed, that requires somewhere around 1,428% bonus attack speed. But if we were to do the same with 0.694, we'd only need 12% more. That is not even 1% of the actual fucking number. So yeah, ideally, we should use the one with the highest base attack speed. But in practice, as long as their base attack speed ratios are decently close, it doesn't really matter which one we go with. We just have to pick the one with the most additional attack speed in their kit. And the clear winner in this category is Olaf. Olaf sits at 190% bonus attack speed from his passive and his W. That is absolutely fucking ludicrous. Jinx, who with her minigun is a late game monster, only hits 155% even with her passive. So yeah, we're using Olaf. With a base attack speed of 0.694 and an attack speed ratio of also 0.694, Olaf would need 1,340% to hit 10.0. With Olaf's 190% from his passive and his W, additional attacks from items, runes, and the Hextech dragons, we can expect to get around 670%, which puts us exactly halfway to our goal. But what champions should we pick to get the other half of the attack speed we need? And so you would imagine that this would be a pretty hard process, right? Because I have to go through all the champions, find the attack speed buffs, find the champions with the highest fucking ratios for their attack speed buffs, do a bunch of math to figure out if the buffs are enough to outweigh items, and yada yada. But on the contrary, this is actually an insanely easy question to answer. There are only 6 champions in the game who can buff ally attack speed, being J4, Lulu, Nidalee, Nunu, Renata, and Yuumi, and only one of them has a ratio in their attack speed scaling. So we can just drop Nunu and J4 right away because they have the lowest base value out of all 6. So yeah, our team comp is Lulu, Nidalee, Renata, and Yuumi. How free. With our comp in hand, let's first go over Lulu, Nidalee, and Yuumi's build since their attack speed is a set amount with no ratio. Buy Ardent Sensor, that's it. Math time. Nidalee's Primal Surge gives 90%, Yuumi's Zoomies gives 45%, and Lulu's Whimsy gives 35%. Add in 3 Ardent Sensor procs for another 90%, and we're now sitting at 260% total bonus. Add this number to Olaf's 670, and now we're only 410 away from our goal. And now, Renata time! Because Renata's W scales off of AP, it's now time to figure out how much AP we can actually get on Renata. I was able to get Renata to 1200 AP, which makes her W give you 83% attack speed. Of course, you can get more AP through using allies and buffing with Staff of Flowing Water, but that will realistically only give you maybe 1 more percent, so we're just gonna ignore that. What does end up mattering though is swapping out your Vigilant Wardstone for Ardent Sensor. While Vigilant Wardstone's scaling is really good, it still gives us the least AP out of all of our items, and frankly, it's not enough to overcome the 30% attack speed that Ardent Sensor just gives you from having the item. With Ardent Sensor in hand, Renata is now able to give around 110% attack speed to any ally. With Renata in the mix, we now sit 300% away from our goal. Add in an enemy Renata ult and an enemy Silas stealing our Renata's ult, and we're now at 100% away from our goal. But this is where we run into a really big issue. We've already done everything we can. There's 5 champs on blue team, we've used up all of our enemy ultimates, we've basically cleared all of the dragons from the game, and we've optimized all of our runes. What now? At this point, I thought the dream was dead, and the reason for this is because Olaf actually does have the highest bonus attack speed out of any champion. But the thing is, Olaf gives you bonus attack speed. There's one motherfucker who doesn't do that, and he's Taric. For some reason that I don't fully understand, Taric's passive gives you total attack speed, and this is fucking clutch, because this means that no matter what value we had before Taric's passive comes in, it gets doubled instantly. And so instead of being softlock at 9.3 attack speed, we can actually easily surge past 10.0 attack speed and beat the upper limit of lethal tempo. With no attack speed buffs and an attack speed ratio of 0.625, you'd expect Taric's passive to put him at around 1.5, but it doesn't do that, it puts him at 1.8. With the full build of items and our passives fully stacked, we're now at 3.3 attack speed. With a simple click of Taric's passive, we can actually get to 6.7, and this means that we no longer need to get enough attack speed to actually hit 10.0. We only need to hit 5.0, then Taric's passive will carry us the rest of the way. Because we're not going to be using Taric's passive until after we've added all of our attack speed, Taric's self buffs come out to 480%. Adding on the buffs that we've already calculated, this actually puts us at 1050%, which is enough to hit 13.7 attack speed. Because of the way his passive works, Taric easily clears 10.0 attack speed and breaks lethal tempo. With the question solved, there lies only one more major roadblock in the way. How the actual fuck am I supposed to get enough people to test this?